Brailsford is stepping back from his role as leading the club's football operations. He's not going to do that anymore. So Jim Ratcliffe, we understand, is planning a major reshuffle at Ineos. So Brailsford will go back to his role of director of sport with Ineos, but stepping back from the football operations at Manchester United. Mark, your reaction?
Huge news for Manchester United, because Sir Jim Ratcliffe has gone in there with a fresh broom. He's swept aside a number of existing staff. He's tried to put new structures, new faces, new people in there. Best in class is what he wanted, so that he could return Manchester United to the top of the English footballing pyramid. That's where he believes they belong. And to do that, he wanted to put in a number of people. We know that Sir Dave Brailsford had worked with Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos at his previous football clubs. He'd been involved with, obviously, Team Sky. He'd been hugely successful and was someone that was charged with making marginal gains in sport. How can we improve every element of performance? And that's why he was brought into Manchester United. He was brought in at the same time as they took on that 25 to 30% shareholding of the football club. Sir Jim Ratcliffe was given full control over the football operation at Manchester United, and Sir Dave Brailsford was a key part of that. They brought in Omar Barada from Manchester City. They brought in Jason Wilcox from Southampton. They waited patiently to get Dan Ashworth in as well from Newcastle. They waited a long time, but already you've seen Dan Ashworth depart Manchester United. And now Sir Dave Brailsford, who is someone who could be considered as Sir Jim's right-hand man. So the fact that they've made another huge change right at the top of the tree would suggest they're jostling and moving things around, because they don't quite feel yet that they've got the people at the top of Manchester United doing the type of work that they need to get them back on track. And we all know what's happened to Manchester United over the last 12 months. Sadly for Sir Jim Ratcliffe, they've gone backwards instead of forwards. And this is another sideward step. So it'd be interesting to see what happens next. But this really, really big news for Manchester United.
James, so Ashworth has gone, Brailsford is going. What does all this mean for Amorim?
That's a very good question. I think at the moment they're pretty committed to Ruben Amorim. I think if they weren't, he would have gone by now, 15th in the Premier League, trophyless season. They want to give him more time. Let's not forget, he hasn't been there for a full season yet. He joined midway through the season after Erik ten Hag left. So it would be unsettling, I think, for everybody associated with Manchester United. News when Dan Ashworth only stayed for 5 months. That was quite unsettling. But this is big news. And as you said, it is his right-hand man. This is his trusted confidant, the man he seems to bring everywhere with him to help deliver. Now, behind the scenes, I understand he was played a key part in the redevelopment of Carrington. So there's probably things that we don't necessarily see that he's been a part of. But ultimately, on the footballing side, which he was quite on top of that tree, it isn't working out, and changes need to be made already, though, in a short space of time.
Goodness me, yeah. And we'll, of course, get much, much more on this throughout the evening here on Sky Sports News.
And I think we look at Rashford, we look at Sancho, you look at Anthony. I think we might get on to Anthony a little bit. But you look at where loan signings actually work well. Look, he had no future at Manchester United. Ruben Amorim made it very, very clear he didn't want him part of the first-team squad. Actually very different to the Anthony situation, where Anthony was included in pretty much the majority of Amorim's squads. But then he's gone on to have a really positive loan spell with Aston Villa. In particular, that second leg at Villa Park against PSG, I thought he was utterly phenomenal. That was the best of Marcus Rashford. And he